Great facts about the 5 Great Lakes. The Great Lakes, Superior, Huron, Michigan, Ontario and Erie, make up the largest body of fresh water on Earth, accounting for 1/5 of the freshwater surface on the planet at 6 quadrillion gallons. The area of all the Great Lakes is 95,160 square miles, 246,463 square kilometers, and spans 750 miles, 1,200 kilometers, from west to east. The square mileage is larger than the state of Texas. The lakes, called the nation's fourth seacoast, are on the U.S. and Canadian border, touching Ontario and Canada and Michigan, Wisconsin, Minnesota, Illinois, Indiana, Ohio, Pennsylvania and New York in the United States. As of 2017, more than 30 million people live in the Great Lakes Basin, according to the Environmental Protection Agency, EPA. This equates to 10% U.S. residents and 30% Canadian residents. More than 3,500 species of plants and animals inhabit the Great Lakes Basin, as well, including 170-plus species of fish. Today, the Great Lakes are popular recreation spots for boating, fishing and other recreational activities, and they still serve as an important mode of transportation of goods, but they have not always been in their current form. About 14,000 years ago, the Great Lakes area was covered with a glacier that was more than a half-mile, 1 km, thick. As the glacier melted, it slowly moved toward Canada and left behind a series of large depressions that filled with water. These formed the basic shape of the Great Lakes, and about 10,000 years ago the Great Lakes took the form that is familiar today. While the area had been inhabited for a very long time before European explorers arrived, Etienne Brule, circa 1592 to 1632, an advance man for the French explorer Samuel de Champlain, circa 1567 to 1635, is generally credited as the first European to discover the Great Lakes. Brule is believed to have reached Lake Huron around 1615, and went on to explore Lake Ontario, according to the Canadian Museum of History. There are a number of rivers and tributaries connecting the Great Lakes. The Straits of Mackinac connect Lake Michigan and Lake Huron, and there is such a steady flow of water between these two bodies that they could be considered one lake. Lake Erie and Lake Ontario are connected by the Niagara River, including Niagara Falls. The St. Lawrence River connects Lake Ontario to the Gulf of St. Lawrence, which leads out to the Atlantic Ocean. The Great Lakes are dotted with more than 35,000 islands. While many of the islands are small and uninhabitable, the largest is Lake Huron's Manitoulin Island, 1,068 square miles or 2,766 square kilometers, which is also the largest island in any inland body of water on the planet. There have been a number of shipwrecks on the Great Lakes, as storms and reefs can make navigation treacherous. The last and one of the most famous shipwrecks was that of the SS Edmund Fitzgerald, a freighter that sank in Lake Superior during a storm on November 10, 1975, killing the crew of 29. The lakes have been changed considerably from pollution and invasive species. Currently, there are more than 140 federal programs designated for environmental restoration and management of the Great Lakes, according to the EPA. 8 U.S. states, Canada and 40 tribal nations are part of the initiative to clean up and protect the lakes. Quick facts about the 5 Great Lakes. Lake Erie, the name was derived from Eilnan, the Iroquoian word for long tail, which describes its shape. It is the 4th largest of the Great Lakes when measured in surface area, 9,910 square miles, 25,700 square kilometers, and the smallest by water volume, 116 cubic miles, 484 cubic kilometers. Lake Huron, named for the Wyandot Indians, or Hurons, who lived there. Lake Huron is the 2nd largest Great Lake by surface area, 23,000 square miles, 59,600 square km, and has the longest shoreline, 3,827 miles, 6,157 kilometers, taking into account its many islands. Lake Michigan, this is truly a great body of water, as the name is derived from the Ojibwa Indian word Misigami, meaning large lake. However, it is only the third largest of the Great Lakes when measured by water surface, 22,300 square miles, 57,800 square kilometers. It has an unusual water flow that goes in almost a cul-de-sac formation, moving slowly in a circular pattern. It is also the only Great Lake located entirely in the United States. Michigan and Huron are actually two halves of one body of water, though, according to the University of Wisconsin. Lake Superior, at 31,699 square miles, 82,100 square kilometers, it is the largest in surface area and in water volume, 2,903 cubic miles, 12,100 cubic kilometers, thus earning it the name Lake Superior. The name comes from the French word lac supérieur, meaning upper lake, as it is north of Lake Huron,